had some viewers, and it's been a really long time since I've recorded a video, but welcome back to I Said It, I'm Not Sorry. I know, it's been a long time. Life gets busy, priorities shift, and sometimes you do not feel like doing anything. Trust me. But I cannot stay silent about one thing. So today I had to record because the assassination of Charlie Kirk, it hit me. It hit me hard. It shook me in a way that I wasn't ready for. Charlie wasn't just another figure in the news for me. And he wasn't just that for so many others. He was a voice of courage, a voice of truth, a voice that cut through the noise. And when I went online after hearing the news, I wasn't just grieving. I was beyond furious. Not just at what happened to him, but at how people were reacting. Instead of mourning, instead of compassion, instead of human decency, I saw slander, I saw mockery, I saw people celebrating his death. It was crazy. And that right there is when I knew I had to do this episode. I had to speak truth. And I had to honor a man who inspired me and countless others. I had to say things others are too scared to say, because if there's one way to truly honor Charlie Kirk, it's to keep speaking boldly, unashamed, and unapologetic. Charlie would never know this, but he and I had a personal, what I believe is a personal connection. I've never met him, but I do want to share why Charlie's life mattered to me, because for me, it wasn't just about politics. There was a time when I was caught up in lies, and I didn't even realize how deep it was. I was repeating whatever their culture told me. I thought being woke made me smart. I thought siding with whatever was trending made me moral. But really, I was lost. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally. I didn't have a foundation. And then one day, I went into school, my senior year of high school. I went into school and I was taking a class called Civil Conversations. I went in there and I remember hearing someone bring up the name Charlie Kirk. And instantly it made my blood boil, because what I was told to believe by the left was that he was racist, he was homophobic, he was all of these things. And so I went, and I had never listened to anything Charlie had ever posted, anything he'd ever say. I would skip right past it because it wasn't for me. And I remember the first video I ever saw of him wasn't even a big speech. It was just him answering a tough question on a college campus. And the way he handled it was just amazing. The boldness, the calmness, the confidence, it caught me off guard, if I'm being completely honest. I remember thinking, he's not afraid. He's not backing down, even when the whole room is against him. That moment planted a seed in me. And the more I listened, the more I realized he wasn't just talking about politics, he was talking about truth. And a lot of the things that he would say, I myself would have to go and I would fact check him, hoping to be able to prove him wrong. But he was always right. That moment, it was just something in me. Truth. He was speaking truth in every moment. Truth about culture, truth about faith, truth about human nature, truth that the world doesn't want us to hear. And he didn't just expose lies, he pointed us to Jesus. He wasn't perfect, but he was real. And his boldness, I find it so encouraging. Because of Charlie, I opened my Bible again. I started praying differently. I started trusting God more. I stopped being ashamed of my faith, and my family noticed it too. Conversations at the dinner table shifted. We stopped parroting what the media was saying and started asking, what does God say? What's the truth? Charlie helped us see that faith has to be the foundation of everything. Politics, family, purpose, all of it. So Charlie, if you can hear me, thank you. Thank you for being bold when I wasn't. Thank you for pointing me back to God. Thank you for loving Jesus out loud so that I could learn to do the same. Now let's deal with a few things, all right, guys? Let's really do what I came here to do. Let's deal with the facts. Facts are something that, don't lie. Quite frankly, fact one, at just 18 years old, Charlie founded Turning Point USA. And at 18, most of us were worried about high school drama. What am I going to wear to prom? Who am I taking to prom? Oh my gosh, is that a pimple? Oh, I need new makeup. Charlie was building a national movement. Under his leadership, TPUSA grew into the largest campus-based conservative organization in America. It changed the conversation on hundreds of campuses. He then launched the Charlie Kirk Show, which became one of the top conservative podcasts in the country, reaching millions daily. And beyond that, he was reaching millions beyond our country. He hosted huge events like Students Action Summit and America Fest, bringing together young leaders, pastors, politicians, and everyday people who wanted to stand for the truth. He wrote books that challenged mainstream narrative, encouraged people to do critical thinking, not surface thinking, not what people told us to think about, but critical thinking. He debated anyone, anywhere, college professors, students, political opponents, and he never once, not once in a video did I ever see him back down. And through it all, his faith remained central. He spoke openly about Jesus Christ, about revival, about the need for truth to be grounded in God's word. These are facts. They can't be erased, no matter how hard his critics try. One of the biggest things that I was seeing on TikTok was people not only celebrating his death, but celebrating because of the misquotes of the media, right? People are taking videos of him debating someone, saying something controversial and cutting it off right there, not letting him finish his explanation or give context to what he was saying, but just cutting him off right there. So let's clear the air. They say Charlie Kirk hated immigrants. False. What he actually said is that we need to have a stronger border and legal immigration. He didn't hate people. He hated broken systems that hurt both citizens and immigrants alike. I heard someone say, Charlie didn't care about poor people. Wrong, again. He argued that government handouts keep people trapped in cycles of poverty. He believed true compassion was creating opportunities for people to rise. That's not hate, that's hope. They say Charlie was racist. Another lie. Charlie often said every human being is made in the image of God, period. He rejected identity politics, not because he didn't care about minorities, but because he believed in equal value for every person. They say Charlie dismissed empathy. That one really took me. It was out of context. What he really says is that empathy shouldn't drive policy, because policy needs wisdom, not emotion. That doesn't mean he didn't care. It means he cared enough to want solutions that actually work. And finally, they say Charlie was indecisive. I don't think he was indecisive. And I will argue anyone on that day, that man stood 10 toes behind what he believed. And one more. They said Charlie was divisive. Well, guess what? Truth is divisive. The gospel itself, the Bible, it is divisive. It separates light from darkness. If standing for truth makes you divisive, then I pray we all become divisive in everything we do. Charlie's greatest legacy was politics. And that's what I heard someone say. They were like, oh my gosh, like his greatest legacy will be his politics. But I believe his greatest legacy, besides his amazing wife, Erica Kirk, and his two beautiful children, I think his legacy was his faith. One of the most powerful lines was, if you want to save America, you have to save the church first. He knew that laws and leaders couldn't save us. Only God could. Charlie reminded us that revival doesn't start in the White House, it starts in our house. It starts with families praying together. It starts with young people reading their Bibles. It starts with churches being unafraid to preach the truth instead of watered down messages. And that convicted me. It made me look at my own walk with God. Was I living bold or was I lukewarm? Charlie showed me that faith isn't about comfort, it's about conviction, and conviction will cost you something. He lived with that conviction. And now it's up to us to carry that torch. Some of my favorite quotes from Charlie are, truth is not relative. Truth is fixed. And truth is found in Jesus Christ. Revival doesn't start in the White House, it starts in your house. The gospel is not popular, but it is powerful, and I'd rather speak the truth that offends the world than a lie that offends God. Every human being is made in the image of God, regardless of race, class, or background. Courage is contagious. When you stand boldly, others will find the strength to stand too. So now we have a choice. We can sit back, we can scroll past the lies, we can stay quiet and let the world rewrite Charlie's story, or we can speak up. We can honor his legacy by living the way he did, fearless, faithful, unapologetic. So I'm challenging you, my listeners, whoever listens to this. What's one step you can take this week to live boldly? Maybe it's sharing the truth online, even if it costs you followers. Maybe it's bringing your Bible to work or school. Maybe it's having that tough conversation with someone you've been avoiding. Charlie lived unashamed. And if his life and death teach us anything, it's that silence helps no one. Boldness is what changes lives. I will honor Charlie Kirk by living bolder. Will you do the same? This has been I Said It. I'm not sorry. And I'm not sorry for defending Charlie Kirk. I'm not sorry for honoring his legacy. I'm not sorry for defending him. I'm not sorry for coming at the people who are slandering his good name, who are saying awful things about his wife and his children, and that he should have died, he deserved to die. He did not deserve to die. For speaking his truth, what he believed to be true, what he held true in his heart. To Mrs. Erica Kirk, I am beyond grieved for you. And I pray that the Lord will sit with you and rest with you every night. I pray that he will make his presence known in your life and that you will see him everywhere. And I pray that even as your children grow up, they will know that their father was a man who touched millions of people and changed their lives. Charlie, we will carry your torch. Your voice may be gone, but your impact is alive in every single one of us who refuses to bow to lies, who refuses to be silent, and who refuses to be lukewarm. Until next time, stay bold, stay unashamed, stay unapologetic. Thank you for tuning in to I Said It. I'm not sorry.